Decision fatigue can happen because we have an endless cycle of choices, big, small, and it drains your mental energy. This can just be at work, that constant problem solving, ping and ponging between meetings and work and conversations with your team, shifting priorities constantly, and at home, the mental load of planning activities and organizing, and those daily choices that just start adding up. Many demands won't go away, but how we manage these decisions can change. Let's look at the background of decision fatigue. Too many choices. So every small decision starts to add up. These can be just email responses. These can be, what are we having for dinner? This can be rescheduling things. This can be being in two places at once. It starts to add up. There might even be lack of systems. So constantly solving problems over and over again, or not having a routine, or the only one doing the routine, puts the mental load on manual instead of the systems in play. Perfectionist and overthinking. That is trying to make every choice the right one, right? And then after you make that choice, was it the right one? The mental capacity that you are lingering there. And then the mental load imbalance of carrying too much responsibility without delegating or using automation or using the systems at work. Let's talk about some actions that you can begin to take. Let's begin with reducing the low stakes decisions. So this could be at work. Can you batch similar tasks together, like emails, meetings, focus deep work, so that you're not pinging and ponging all day long? And I want to show you a great example of what a schedule may look like, where it has that energy thrive feeling to it because you're not pinging and ponging through multiple activities through the day. In the morning, we focus. We have that focus work instead of just jumping into meetings, not even knowing what's going on. We have that focus time to take control back of our day, work on an initiative, work on a priority. We set up our day. And then we move into meetings. That's our communication outside of systems, outside of email. Then we work on some activities based off of emails or that meeting. That's more of a response mode type of activity. And then we reset. We're going to protect that space to reset for lunch. No screens. Let's eat. Let's move. Let's connect with people. Reset. And then you can go back into activities, and then at the end of the day, you're going to have some focus time again so that you can not only finish up tasks that you needed for the day, but you can reflect on everything that you did. You can even set up your next day. Now, do you see the shift in energy versus the 16 activities that you pinged and ponged all day long? This is only 6. They're block times of very intentional energy zones in which you have the same amount of decisions, but you're not wasting on switching gears between deep work and that frontal lobe quick response. You're not switching subjects as often, so you're not exerting that decision into fatigue. You're still problem solving, you're still moving things forward, but it's in a more focused, intentional way. Now, at home, could you set weekly meal themes? Could you set roles for the week so that you don't have the whole entire responsibility of the house? Can you have a simple grocery stock so that you don't have to decide? You just have to grab some cans and throw them in the crock pot. You can, you always have taco ingredients, so that can be a go-to. What can you do knowing that a majority of the food you eat is on repeat? So maybe it's Taco Tuesdays, maybe it's Pasta Thursdays. Maybe you always duplicate this meal so that you can have leftovers for those busy nights. What can you do at home that you already know is predictable to set a weekly tone that you don't have to decide? It's just known. And then the mindset shift is the other small action you can take. Not every choice has to be optimized. Not every choice you have to linger if it was the right one. Sometimes good enough is the best choice. And a great example of this is my wardrobe. So I was never like a fashionista, but when I was in my burnout collapse and I had that complete cognitive crash, I would get out of the shower and I would stand in my closet and I would just like not even know shirt, pants, underwear, socks. Like I couldn't even put an outfit together, like a basic human need, hygiene need. I couldn't put it together because just complete cognitive crash. And it taught me one thing is like I already was in a poor state of health. And now I'm just wasting a little bit of cognitive energy that I have on picking out clothes. And so I revamped my wardrobe to basically black shirts and a colored pant or a jeans or leggings. And so you'll always see me probably in a black shirt in these videos because I have multiples. I do have multiples, so don't think I'm just, wearing the same shirt every day. But it's black. I don't make any decisions about my outfits. I grab a shirt, it's black. I grab a pant, it's colored, and off I go. If I'm in programs or on stage, maybe it's even a black dress and then colored leggings. It's the same. I don't have to make a decision. I grab one, and I'm out of my closet. So do you see how just a small thing that we do every day, you had to choose? You had to get out of a routine. You had to just exert energy for something so basic. Now let's talk about another step. So those are our basic like little micro shifts you can do throughout the day. In a more involved type of step that you could do is standardize where possible. Now I love variety and I love creating and I love new and change. So standardizing isn't really what I wanted to do, but also I saw the impact of my energy when things are standardized. So for example, at work, can you create templates where if you send frequent update emails, you can just use that template so you don't have to retype a whole email every week with an update. It's the same template over and over again. Even better if the whole team uses it because then everyone knows where to find specific information on that email. Is there reports that can be automated instead of you trying to remember how you pulled that data last time out of the system? Can you just automate it so it gets automatically emailed or sent to you? Meetings. Are meetings more blocked so you can have that deep work time? Or are you just in meeting, and then at the end of the day, you're like, I don't know what happened today. Where did the day go? All right, you just gave it all away in response mode into that decision fatigue. So can you protect some time out of meetings to do actual work? And then at home, what type of standard things happen on the daily? What type of standard things happen weekly? And can you have chore charts? Can you have a schedule where someone owns something and it's not you, and that reoccurs at a certain time? Reoccurring purchases, can you put it on a subscription? Those type of things. And then can you begin to shift your mental energy and that mindset shift at work and at home to what matters most? Repetitive tasks, you got to get them done, but you really don't need to make decisions. So stop trying to make decisions in the repetitive tasks. Focus on the value add work that's changing or that you need to make an actual decision. And then I want you to begin setting boundaries. And there's going to be a whole episode on setting boundaries in relationships. I want you to set boundaries to protect your mental bandwidth. That means at work, limiting unnecessary meetings. Really asking the question, could this be an email? Asking a question, this is already in the system, why are we talking about it? Asking a question, does this meeting really need to be this long? Right now, all we do is accept invites and don't even question. So begin prompting the question. You can actually begin to clean up your operation and refocus back to those value added instead of just tasks that we do through the day. At home, can you share the mental load? That means you'll have to learn to delegate. If the dishwasher has to be loaded, forks up or forks down, it doesn't matter. Someone else can load it. If it's still dirty, then they can wash it themselves. Can you schedule those chore charts? Can you schedule owners of specific tasks that only are done on a weekly basis? Bills or grocery shopping or driving to kid activities. Again, so you're not deciding things every day, pinging and ponging, but someone owns it completely all week long. And then in that mindset shift, if everything is urgent, nothing actually is. So define what truly needs your attention, what truly needs decisions, and start to back away from the rest. Most things that are not changing, that are already standardized, and we're just fighting this reality, they don't need decisions. They just need to be. Decision fatigue won't disappear. But small adjustments of reducing and automating and standardizing will protect your energy.